getting the diesel and filling up one can that I've used on my gasoline. So we're just getting all of our things prepped up that we need just in case this hurricane comes. And so are others getting their fuel ready. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time to our channel, please like, subscribe. We'd really appreciate to have you as a family member. And looks like everybody else has got the same intention, is to get McDonald's. We were just a little late. We had like 5 or 6 cars in front of us. It is August the 27th, I think. And it's a Friday. And everybody's making their preparations for the hurricane if it does come our way. We don't know if it's gonna or not, but boy, our newscasters, meteorologists are really pushing it. The models are showing it's coming to Louisiana. And we just went through this stuff a year ago when y'all seen that Hurricane Laura came directly over our path. And as we sit at the McDonald's parking lot, if you can look across the street, that's the remembrance of, one of the remembrances of when Hurricane Laura came through. That used to be our market basket. One of the 2 grocery stores that we have in Dequincy. Totally demolished from the hurricane. Maybe when I pull up you can kind of see all the stuff on the side of the building. So we're no strangers to these big hurricanes. And the only thing that I was missing last year for my preps was tarps. And after the storm hit for Hurricane Laura, the National Guard was handing tarps out like candy. And I made sure I was the gray man and I was in line with everybody else. So we're good on the tarps. And if you hang around with us, we'll show you some more stuff.
Number 1 medium with a caramel frappe.
Okay, last one, thank you.
Only in Dequincy. And the Salvation Army for Lake Charles is here getting the food supplies just in case they need them at Lake Charles Sam's. We're here at our local Sam's today because Kelly needs some shelves so we can try to organize all of our stuff that we have. And while we're here, we'll take a look and see what's going on. And they were right. Absolutely no water. And as I was sitting here, everybody was talking about, where's the water? They've already made their pass through. Then the ones that got it, got it. Ones that haven't. That's why it's important to keep your preps up. They have made a run on the bread. Just getting ready. All of these shelves are empty. No bread. Just a few of the different type of, just not normal loaves of bread. And Kelly said, all we need at Sam's is paper plates. Well, you see what happens when you get to Sam's. You get your paper plates, but there's always something extra that you find rounding corners. And I know we're at Sam's. This video is not about food shortages. It's about getting ready for the hurricane. If you're not ready, you need to be ready if you're in the cone. But as you can see, they're well stocked with meat here. No problems here. And here's another area, just to pass through to show you. People are getting generators. And this is the line that they made for fuel. So you got to go through this single line over here. They blocked off one of the entrances, so you have to come down here and actually feed on in to get fuel. Because it's about to get hectic, my friends, over here with people trying to get fuel and getting their supplies. There is a security guard as well standing under that tree, so just in case things go awry and somebody turns the wrong way. Everybody getting ready. And with them making the line like this, there's only one way out of the parking lot. So we got to join in with everybody else that's leaving. And just be careful because these cars are going every which way. Still a lot of people getting in there to get their fuel from Sam's. We're just trying to get out. I'll let these cars in because they might not know how to drive. It is, look at the cars, people. Everywhere. Let's just go this way, Kelly. Traffic is at almost a standstill. We're on the very top of the 210 bridge. I guess I can show you some sights while we're here. And we stop again. People getting ready for the possibility of the next hurricane hitting the coast of Louisiana. Let's just hope and pray it's not a big one. This almost looks like people are evacuating with the amount of traffic that's going on this bridge, but we're way too early for that. And here's another remnant from 1 year ago. Just totally took this business out. And this is one of our sandbag locations where you can come and fill your sandbags up. So this is starting on Friday. People are getting ready, getting their sandbags together so they can stop the water. Of course, this is for people that are prone to flooding in their home. They come out here and get this to try to protect their assets. And this is in Sulphur. And another camper heading north. People are starting to get out of here. These cleanup trucks have been here since the Hurricane Laura a year ago. Ain't no need in leaving now. Well, it is Saturday today, and we're still waiting to know the exact path of Hurricane Ida. We don't think it's gonna come here. They're predicting around New Orleans or something. And 1 year ago, this tree was standing. So we know all too well about what them storms can actually bring. A year ago today, this shed was standing, but Hurricane Laura took care of that as well. And last year during Hurricane Laura, this was an old barn that we had, but it was standing. We didn't do much in this barn, but 3 trees fell down on top of this one, and now it's gone. So when it comes to these hurricanes, we don't take them lightly. We still prepare, and we make sure all our preps are ready and ready to go. Living close to the coast of Louisiana, this is just one of the things you have to worry about. Hurricane Laura came in at a Category 5. They're predicting Hurricane Ida to hit shore at a Category 4. And a Category 4 is nothing to shake a stick at. It can really do damage as well. As you can see, we haven't even messed with any of the trees or anything that's came down about last year. This was a pretty good sized tree I had before Laura, but it pulled it right out the ground. It's a pretty good size. We still haven't done anything with it. It did make me a sort of a pond where the root system was. These storms are very upsetting, stressful, and dangerous. So you got to stay indoors for these things. And the thing is, if you've seen any of my videos during the storm, and if you haven't, go back and see about a year ago what our town looked like, which we're still trying to recover. There's a lot of buildings that are never going to go back together again. There's some people that still haven't gotten their roof on. And the good thing, I guess we can say, is it might not be coming to us. We're going to be getting maybe a little bit of wind and the rain from the outer bands. But we're going to be saved, I think, from this one. And I pray for everyone that's in the path of this. Maybe a good idea to voluntarily evacuate. The mayor of New Orleans has set out a voluntary evacuation. She said it would be too much trouble to do a mandatory, which they'd have to do the contraflow, which use both lanes of the interstate to go one way. There's my old YBC totes. No, this isn't for drinking water. And I got one a little farther down than what it should. This is just like for flushing and things like that. That's what we'll use in case we would need it. Well, all the yard work is done for now because now we're getting the rain. It doesn't appear right now that we're going to get the hurricane, but we are going to get the rain, and I don't know if this is part of it or not, but this has been on and off today. Rain, rain, rain. And as you can see, our chickens are staying dry while it rains. Just another rainy day. What are you doing? Just a sleepy day. So one of the best investments that we added to our homestead was the Guardian 22 kW Generac. This thing worked very well during the Hurricane Laura. We were actually out of electricity for an entire month. So we depended on this thing. The things you do have to worry about when you're running a generator for that long of a duration is to make sure that you have enough supply stock, like your oil filters, air filters, and oil for your oil changes that you need to do. You can't just start this thing and just let it run. Every 24 hours you have to shut it down for an hour, let it rest, check your oil, and every 100 hours you have to change the oil filter and the oil. And then you can check your air filter. It doesn't have to be changed every 100 hours. But that's totally up to you. Very good investment for when the times that we don't have power for these natural disasters. Very well money very well spent. So that starts what we do here on the homestead for our hurricane preparedness. Very important to have your food stored up. We, as you know, we have pretty good extensive food supply. This is only one shelf. This isn't dehydrated foods or other areas of the house that Kelly is pretty much on me wanting to clear rooms out. But anyway, if you have your food and if you have your water, then you really don't need to go anywhere. And yes, of course, the toilet paper. Don't forget about the fur babies, all the dogs, the cats, the birds. Make sure you have extra food stored for them. We just have a lot of areas in this home just totally filled up. Yeah, she's mad at me. Here are some of the canned goods. Can your meat, guys. If the power goes out and you don't have the ability to freeze meat, you need to be able to can it and put it on the shelf to where you don't have to worry about it. Some of the extra supplies for the generator. You got the oil filters that are here, air filters, and also the oil. And I have 2 times this much because I still have some left from the other hurricane. I just purchased these just to make sure I had extra. And some have asked me what were the holes that I figured out that happened after the hurricanes, things that I may have wished I had or things I missed. And this is what it is. It was tarps. We didn't have the tarps that we needed to stop the rainwater that was coming through the roof. I did have 2 makeshift ones, but they were very small. We had to go to Beaumont, Texas to be able to pick some up, and they were very, very in short supply. But since then, once the National Guard was here, they were actually handing these tarps out every day to whoever needed them. So we picked some up. I even got one that was 42 foot by 42 foot. I think that would cover my house. But there was different sizes that they handed out depending on the day. And I have quite more than this. I just took this out just to show you. So don't forget the tarps and means of tying it down. And if you don't know how to put a tarp on a roof, YouTube it so you can figure out how to before you need it. Other things to consider is communications. When we went through Laura, all of the cell towers were out for Verizon, and that's the cell service we have. We had no means to communicate unless we were out of this area. So if you were in this area, you could forget it. So they had to do different things to get a mobile trailer in after a couple of weeks to actually give us the ability to communicate on a phone. A lot of people went to AT&T and purchased phones. Even the police departments went to AT&T and purchased phones just to have service during the storm, after the storm, because that storm was so huge it knocked all of the towers out. So what we used were the Baofeng radios when we were on the property. If we needed to communicate and I was out, because you know you bring your cell phone with you if you're on the other side of the property and call someone if you need something. Well, this was our go-to. These things don't reach out that far, but it actually works for within about 1 mile to 2 miles radius, I guess, depending on your terrain. Another thing that we do is monitor the police traffic, fire department, emergency services. We have a digital scanner, so now these days you have to have digital to be able to pick up most of these departments. And don't forget a weather radio. NOAA has these different, you can get all kinds of weather radios, but this is the Midland. And if there's any kind of bad weather in your area, it should sound and give you an alert, which is beneficial to have at home. And one of the surveillance devices that we have, I have like 3 or 4 different types of surveillance systems at home. This one makes it so easy because I can bring it and set it on the desk or whatever if I'm trying to watch for the what's going on with the chickens or down our driveway, and it beeps if there's motion. It beeps twice, just like that. And there's motion, it looks like a chicken that's having fun out there. You can switch it. These are not that expensive. It comes with 2 cameras, and you can add cameras to it as well. The radio you see in the back is a field radio, which is a Grundig. Really neat radio. You can pick up different, you can go to shortwave 1, 2, and 3, AM, FM, all kinds of different things. So this is a really neat radio to have if you're trying to find information out there. So the Baofangs, I have 3 here, but this is where you get them from, like from China. You can get them on Amazon. They're very cheap and very worth it. The walkie-talkie Baofang series, and when you get them, I'll give you an idea of what you get when they come in. You get like a little earpiece that you can hang, which I don't use. There's 2 there. You get a charging cradle, and you get the actual radio, and you get the battery and the antennas, and that's how it's shipped to you. So invest in some of these. They're about, I don't know, maybe $20 something. They're not that expensive. It's a good addition to your preps. You're getting a chance to come into my cave today. Yes, I am a communication junkie, and as you can see, I have ham radios, regular CB radios, and old DAC radio, if some of you guys may know what that is. Cobra 2000 GTL, and one of the monitoring systems that I have for some of the cameras. Just wanted to show a quick peek of it. Don't forget your flashlights. Power goes out, you need to have a flashlight somewhere that you can readily get, where it can see you through the home. It's funny that these hurricanes always come at nighttime. So when they're there and the power goes out, you need to have a means to be able to see. Some of the ones that I carry are the O-lights. I really like the O-lights. The M2R is the one that I carry every day, which is the first one here. And then that one sits in my pocket too, which is the S10 Orbiton 3. The other ones just hang around, and they're all charged. We got to make sure it don't have to be an expensive light either. You can pick one of these things up at the store for like $2 or $3, or you can pick these up at Amazon. These little ultrafires. These ultrafires are really cheap as well, and they're very good quality. They're made out of metal, and they work well. If you have components that you're using that require batteries, make sure you have your batteries in place. I like these little containers. I get these on Amazon. They're actually for ammo, but they work really well for AA batteries. You can put them inside there, and that's how I keep mine. Make sure you have batteries for whatever you're using. These are the Surefire 123As. I get these on Amazon. A whole lot cheaper than what you can get 2 of them in a pack at Walmart. I think 2 in a pack at Walmart is like $12. These here you get 12 in the box for about $21. So no comparison. I also have these interloop batteries. These are rechargeable. Eventually you might not have any more batteries, but rechargeable batteries will really help and come in handy. You can have a solar panel that you can charge these things when you don't have any type of electricity. These interloop batteries are really cool. They're AA batteries. They got AAAs, and they have these little boxes here that you can actually put AA's in and make a D cell battery and a C cell battery. With all the hospitals at maximum capacity, as everyone knows, it's hard to get to the hospital, and sometimes you just don't want to go to the hospital. Well, I can tell you, during a hurricane, you're not going to have emergency medical services, emergency for fires or police available until the storm has passed. So you're not going to get to the hospital. So make sure that you have the first aid equipment that you need to take care of injuries during the time of a storm, or possibly 24 hours after, such as surgical dressings, gauze, different types of pads, band-aids, things to secure it like self-adhering bandages, tape. Get you a first aid kit. Have one set up inside your home. Put one inside your vehicle, because in the time of you having to leave, if you have to leave, at least you have a medical first aid kit with you. This is nowhere as compared to what I do have. but I didn't feel like carrying a whole lot of stuff out for the video. This right here is actually an oximeter, which gives me my oxygen saturation and also my beats per minute. Good little tool to have. Other things that you can think about, we have a chainsaw and strapping and chains. When we did evacuate for the storm, we carried our chainsaw with us and some chains in case we had to clear trees from the roadway. That's a good thing to have. Don't forget your tools. Hammer, nails, screws. If you have a cordless type a screwdriver of that sort, make sure it's charged. Top off the batteries. Top off all your batteries on anything that can help you through this thing, because sometimes we forget about the tools that we need. Make sure that you have them. Make sure you have a fire extinguisher and it's fully charged, that in case a fire happens because of lightning, make sure you have that on hand as well. So let's get back to an update on the storm. It appears that we more than likely will not be affected by the storm here. We were concerned, that's why we do our preps. They've had another easterly shift, and it's showing that it's going to be a Cat 4 when it crosses the Fourchon, Louisiana area up into Terrebonne Bay. There's going to be a pretty good sized wind and storm surge moving through South Louisiana starting Sunday morning. The bayou parishes, river parishes, this will be a major storm. If you're in the fence, now is your last chance to leave. And this is as of Saturday at about 4:39. It's going to be a really tough storm once it hits that coast. And I'm hoping and praying that everybody stays safe. The ones that are going to be affected by this, we know all too well what it feels like. And I'm glad you guys visited the channel. I hope this was useful for you. And if you're not a subscriber, please like and subscribe. We'd really like to have you with our channel. And thank you all for coming. Stay safe, stay well, and always remember to prepare for the unknown.